Alright, quick video because nobody ever says how to do this junk. First we took off the bumper, then we took out the fender liners because you need the room to work to get into here. The passenger side, if you have a US car, has this canister bolted to the fender liner, so this screw comes out when you undo the fender liner. There's two nuts that go onto studs that are actually on the fender liner to get those two off, so then that'll come loose and you can get the fender liner out. This side has one tab for the air intake up here you'll need to do, but that gives you room to get to all of this. If you want some extra room, I had to fix a brake rotor. Without the brake rotor and the caliper here, there's a lot more room to work, especially if you have T-Rex arms like we do. So that really helps. I suggest getting them out of the way because over here we're working around this whole mess and it's really in the way. I might actually take it off. Other than that, this is the fender liner I was talking about on the US passenger side. These are the two nuts that hold that container on. I believe this is the bracket for the O2 sensor. There was nothing in it, but anyway. And then that is where the bolt goes through to connect to that guy that I was talking about. Other than that, I was able to get to all of the underside nuts with a ratchet. I took off the alternator and the AC compressor so I could get to the front set. I went through the top front to get to the top front nuts. I went through the passenger compartment. You can see I took the firewall out. Then they're just right there. So that only left the top three nuts on either side. All the how-tos I found online had a long list of complicated little wrenches, crow's feet, blah, blah, blah. I used a ratchet, extension, and a socket to get the bottom ones. And all you need to get to every single top nut is a 13 millimeter. Oh, this is the actual one. All you need is an offset wrench. With the offset wrench, you can get to every single one of these top ones, easy peasy. They come right off with no issue. So, I don't know why everything's said to have all of these, because you don't. Just one of these. That's it. And if I think of anything, I'll add later. That helped. The nuts, just so you know, I gotta find one because I threw them all over here on the ground. They're trash. Buy new nuts. They're copper. I wouldn't reuse them because they do lock in some way, but I wouldn't reuse them. But anyway, like I said, they're copper. Once they break loose, they're not super tight. They'll break loose and then they spin right off. So thank goodness for that. Guess that's it.